Welcome to Okas TV. Your host Nalwagana Shibat. Today we are going to be discussing about an interesting issue which mostly affects our students here at Old Kampala Adult School and other students out there or other people out there. I'm not alone. I'm with Director Lucky Henry. He's going to be telling us more about what self-confidence is and how can someone become self-confident among the public. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to you. Hello, our dear viewers. My name is Lucky Henry here at Old Kampala Adult School. I welcome you.
Our topic today, Mr. Lucky, we are seeing most of our students and other people out there lack confidence whenever they are in public. Someone out there, they usually even have a problem of expressing themselves. They can't even introduce themselves. So our viewer today would like to know what is self-confidence and how can I become confident?
For our viewers, self-confidence simply means having trust in yourself. In most cases, if I may share with you, I also sometimes get that challenge, and not me only, but I know even some people that you admire to be sometimes also have that challenge of self-confidence. Mostly there is what we call inferiority complex. You know, there are some people, whenever you are speaking to others, you feel like you are not worthy, maybe you are lacking a lot, but even others that you speak to have also that challenge. Maybe another challenge that people normally get is that because they don't practice. You know, when you lack practice, you don't prepare yourself, sometimes you can't get what to speak, and maybe you might feel like you have a lot of mistakes that you are committing. But if you prepare yourself in advance, you can also fight against that.
How often should someone practice to gain self-confidence?
I think whenever you have time, you should practice. Now there are like some students who are in beginner. Let me say that those ones are that we just introduce, that just come to learn English in the first level. Sometimes when you are at home, you have to go and practice. If, like, for example, you have a mirror, you can go there. Let's assume like as if you are talking to someone or talking to a friend. You should practice according to what the teacher has given you. But if you don't do that, if you go to speak, you will feel like you cannot feel your legs, you cannot feel your hands, you cannot even feel like you are content to speak. So you should practice as many times as you can.
You've talked about someone being feeling weak in the legs. Is that one of the signs that shows that I'm nervous or I'm not good at self-confidence?
Of course, that is fear. When fear comes, you cannot feel your legs. And some people, I remember there is a student, so we had a debate. So when we gave her a microphone, she collapsed immediately because she didn't feel her legs, and I think her heart started pumping high and she collapsed. So when you don't feel your legs, that is a sign of lack of self-confidence. And some students also go on criticizing themselves. You know, when you make a mistake while speaking, it does not mean that maybe you are bad. But all people make mistakes in speaking. So whenever there is a mistake, don't mind. Don't fear, as long as other people do not criticize you. But you don't criticize yourself. Just what you have to do is to encourage yourself and think positively about yourself.
Has Old Kampala Adult School, some students will be like, why should I be self-confident, or why should I have confidence in myself? So what is the importance of a person out there who's watching this show right now? What is the importance of them of having self-confidence?
You know, self-confidence helps a lot. Like these public speakers. You know, people do not like people who speak to them when they are boring, and others, if, for example, you are not audible, the words that you speak, people can't hear you, you are inaudible, people do not like that. And also, when you are not confident, sometimes you cannot make or have a meaningful speech, so people will feel like there is something missing. So when you build your self-confidence, you can express yourself well, your message can reach to the target group. It helps a lot.
I'll be reading some of our messages from Facebook from our anonymous students. I won't be mentioning their names for safety purposes. This one says, How do I gain self-confidence in myself? I usually get nervous when giving speech in public.
Yeah, as I told you, number one, you have to prepare what you are going to speak. If you don't prepare what you are going to speak, you will always have that challenge. Number two, stop criticizing yourself. We are all capable of making mistakes, but when you make a mistake, so you can learn where the mistake came from, then next time you can also improve on that. Another thing, you should learn to encourage yourself. You know, when other people say that you are bad, for you in your mind, you should say, no, I'm good, I will make it. You know, sometimes people can tell you you can't manage, you will not make it, but when you encourage yourself, eventually you will be at the same level. Even those ones who are laughing at you, those ones who are discouraging you, before they were also like that. You know, we all started from the grassroots. So some people, I can say in a language, we all start from the alphabetic letters. So who didn't start from that? So whoever is laughing at you, even them at one time, they were lacking self-confidence. Don't fear, you just keep on, press on, press on. Next time, you will surprise everyone. And another thing, if like you are speaking, you should not use those hard words that you cannot pronounce well, and sometimes you can't explain well. When you do that, you can have that challenge because people cannot get what you are speaking, and you can also attract a lot of questions from them. So you should use simple language, basic English. Eventually, you will cope up with that kind of situation and you will speak well.
Thank you so much. Our next anonymous student is saying, thank you so much for those thoughtful words. My question is, how do I know that I don't have confidence?
All right, now, if you feel like whenever you are speaking you are inaudible, if you feel like you are shaking, you know, there are some people, even when you are reading a speech, you are trembling. So, yeah, even others stammer. So that is a sign of lack of self-confidence. And there are others who normally, if they go to speak, they forget what they wanted to speak. That is also a sign of self-confidence. And others fall short of words. That is also another sign of lack of self-confidence.
I guess you've been able to answer each and every student's question. For the interest of time, shall stop on those questions and continue answering more on Facebook. Our last question as we are winding up, Mr. Lucky. How can a student gain confidence in themselves?
As I told you, practice. The more you practice, the more you gain that confidence. Secondly, learn to prepare before you go to speak. For example, if you are going to give a speech, you have 2 days, so you have to prepare yourself. You give yourself, you can say, let me give myself a week and I prepare. You can even write down what you are going to speak, but you just highlight. Don't write like as in a speech, but you can just highlight the main points that you are going to talk about. And another thing, stop criticizing yourself. If you do so, you will overcome that challenge of lack of self-confidence.
Thank you so much. That has been all for today. We've been looking at self-confidence. How do I gain confidence in myself? How do I know that I'm confident? And how will I improve on my speaking in public, basically? We've been with Director Lucky Henry. He has told us a lot more about self-confidence. Hope you were able to learn and get a few points that will help you while speaking in public. I've been Nalwagana Shiba here on Akas TV. Till next time.